Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be comparing the Hohem Mobile Plus, the updated version, against the Hohem iSteady V2. We're going to compare the two together. We're going to look at all the features. Which one is better than the other, or are they the same? Let's get into the features. Let's see which gimbal best suits your needs. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into talking about these gimbals. Now, first thing I'm going to do, put a couple of links down below. I have unboxings and reviews on each of these independently, so you can check more into that, and I get right into all the bells and whistles of each. So you can look at that. This one's more about what's the difference between these two gimbals. Now, the first difference we have is the app. The V2 runs on the Hohem Pro app. The Mobile Plus, the updated version, runs on their new app called Joy. I will do a separate video comparing the two apps for you, and we'll get into all the little details on that and see if there's any differences between the Pro app and the Joy app. So look forward to that video. But in the meantime, let's have a look at the gimbals. And the first thing we notice right off the bat is look at the size difference between the two. The V2 also has the ability to compact itself down even smaller. And if I take the little tripod, you can see that is quite small in comparison. So I can put this one in my pocket. That is a feature that I love because, as I always say, the best camera and equipment you have with you is the one you have with you at the time. And I'm more likely to carry this in my pocket than I am this. So I like the compact size of the V2. Let's talk battery life. The V2 has, in my opinion, an impressive 9-hour battery life. Now, note to self, if you're using the top AI controls and the light, you're going to decrease your battery power from down to about 2 hours from the 9. But if you're just using the gimbal as a gimbal without using the top controls, you're looking at about a 9-hour battery life. Now the Mobile Plus, you're looking at a very impressive 12-hour battery life. So that is not bad at all. And they both recharge in approximately a couple of hours. So pretty good there as well. Now, what other feature do we have that might be different? Now, to save ourselves a little bit of time and make life easy for you, let's put the specs up. Boom. There you go. Side by side of the specs. You can pause the video and go over all that little nuances there. Okay, so let's talk about payload now. How much weight can these gimbals hold? They both hold the identical amount of 280 grams. That is not bad. Now, the next thing with the gimbal is the pan, tilt, roll. Now, the pan on the Mobile Plus is an impressive 600 degrees. Yep, you heard me correct, 600 degrees. So if you're doing an inception where it's kind of rotating, you can do it 600 degrees. The V2, you're locked in at 320 degrees. So if pan's important to you, this one has a greater range. Now, for your tilt, you're looking at 320 for both gimbals. If you're looking at roll, you're looking at 320 for both gimbals. So the only difference between them is actually the pan. Now, another difference is the way your cell phone mounts within them. This one here, they're both spring-loaded, but this one here, your phone centers on it, where this one has the traditional arm and it rests back here. Now, that's good and bad because when it rests back here, it blocks the port on your cell phone. So although you have the ability to charge while you're using it, you need a little right angle adapter and offset your phone in order to do it on the Mobile Plus. This one here doesn't have that problem because both sides of your phone are fully open. The Mobile Plus has, right here, a little thread mount so you can add a microphone, a light, and it also has it on the side down here. The V2 doesn't have that ability, but they both have the ability to charge because you can access your port here on the V2, so you can charge while you're doing it. You're just going to have to get a little collar adapter on here in order to hold a microphone or light or anything else. But this one has the extra ports, this one doesn't. Now, another feature that the Mobile Plus has, this is an added button on the back. The V2 doesn't have it. The V2 is very simplistic in design compared to the Mobile Plus. So what does this back button do? If I click and hold it, it puts me into sport mode. What is sport mode, you ask? It stiffens up all the motors, so I can move the gimbal faster and it'll react fast with me. It doesn't have that sluggish move to it. it'll move very fast. The V2 has sport mode, but I don't have access to the button. I have to click the mode button a few times to get into sport mode, and then it'll work identical to this. So it's just how you access it that it does it. Also, the back button here, double click it, that takes me into recentering. So if my gimbals kind of get off track, I can double click and it'll recenter for me. The V2 doesn't have that. Again, we have to come back to the little mode button in here, and we have to click to bring it back. So double click on that, I can bring it back in and it'll recenter. So again, they both do the same thing, but it's how you access it. They both have auto inception, if you're wondering about that, and it's simply a matter of triple clicking the button on both, and boom, you are into auto inception. This one being a greater version of 600 degree. Now the other thing is, when we're talking about the way the cell phones mount, is the way this one goes, there's nothing blocking here. And the arm is small compared to, look how big this whole little bracket unit is, which is standard for most gimbals in looks. But it also inherits the same problem that most gimbals suffer. And that is, when you're using your wide-angled lens, the motor here shows in the corner of your video, which is not a good thing. On the V2, it doesn't. So you can use your wide-angled lens and film your little heart out, and it works great. The Mobile Plus, you cannot. But we have a workaround for that. This one, the Mobile Plus, has the ability to what they call flashlight mode. So I can put the gimbal in this position and I can film, and it will not show the motor in the video. So I can still use the wide-angled lens. This one here, I don't need to do it because the arm doesn't show, but it has the ability to go in flashlight mode. I like the ability to go in flashlight mode because I can get down low to the ground. I can push it through holes and do some really cool effects. The V2, I cannot go into flashlight mode. It will not do it. So that's another difference between the two. Now for your controlling on the front, they're pretty much the same. I do like on the Mobile Plus, I click the mode button once, I'm into like all lock. Press it again, I'm into sport mode. Press it again, I'm in pan, tilt, follow. On the V2, single click, double click, triple click, quadruple click, 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 click. And sometimes I don't get the click right and I don't get in the mode I want. So that's a frustration I have with the V2, is double clicking, triple clicking, quadruple clicking. This one here, I just click and the light down the side of the mode will switch into the mode I want. Very handy indeed. They both have joysticks, and as you know, I love the joysticks. Now the other bonus that the V2 has over the Mobile Plus is this has the little AI sensor on the top. So tracking on both of these is fantastic. They work really well. Hohem's got their tracking down, in my opinion, really well. But with this one here, I've got the added little piece on the top, and I even have a little light on the top. So it has a 3 setting on it. So that's different than this one. This one doesn't have the ability. So I can use any app I want with the V2 and still do tracking because I can use the AI sensor on top, which is fantastic. This one does not have that ability to do it. That's an addition to that. And that's, I think, where Hohem focus more. Their concerns within this gimbal is more for your vlogger type personality, where you have your little light and everything else that can shine and help illuminate you. You've got the extra tracking on here. So I think this was geared more for the little vlogger than it was in regards to the Mobile Plus as more of a general use one. Now, I've done a lot of talking comparison of what features and what, but how are they? Why do we get a gimbal? We get a gimbal? Stability. These are 3-axis gimbals. So this motion, up and down, is not taken out because that is your 4th axis. So you still have to walk like a ninja, as they say, to get your smoothest footage. But let's get out. Let's do a little bit of walking with both gimbals. Let's do a bit of running with both gimbals. So let's check out this footage. Ninja walking. Running. Ninja. Running. Ninja walking. Running. Now another thing with the two gimbals is the V2, because it has the AI part on the top, it gives me the ability to use hand signals to switch back and forth between landscape, vertical, so it has a little greater control than this one for the hand gesturing. This one doesn't have the hand gesturing like that. You can do hand gesturing through the tracking stuff, and it's simply giving a high five and the V signal and all that. So you can take a photo or do video. That works with both. But for the additional switching into landscape and everything from a distance, this one does it through the AI part at the top here. This one here, check this out. You can see how easy that gets into vertical mode and you're ready to start your vlog. Or to show you the vertical mode, just simply take it, rotate it, and boom, ready to vlog. So you can see they both have the ability to go into vertical mode. Which one's easier? It becomes up to your choice to it. Again, they have the same features, it's how you access the features. So that's basically it for the gimbals. Do I favor one over the other? I wish Hohem would take the V2 and the Mobile Plus, put it together, create a baby, and that would probably be closer to my perfect gimbal. Because there is no perfect gimbal. There's always something that doesn't work quite the way you want it to. But hopefully this gives you an idea and a comparison between the two. They both, in my opinion, are fantastic for stabilizing your video footage, and that's what we're after. That's why we buy it. Hopefully this video helps make a decision for you, or at least give you a good insight onto how these gimbals compare against each other. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you're aware when I post new videos like this. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. So, until the next time.